Hello. So I just want to share something really quick. I just worked out for the first time since losing my workout partner, my husband. And it's pretty much something that I have not wanted to do at all. Like, not because of laziness or lacking the motivation or anything like that. It was just, I did not want to visit that emotional space that I knew it would take me to. Like, we were workout partners. Like, we might not have physically worked out together all the time, but we were always like on the same grind. So if he was working out during the day, I was working out at night. And so I knew that it would take me to a place. And so since losing him and since going through this process, any trigger that I can avoid, I avoid at all costs. Like, of course, obviously there's triggers every day. But the ones that I can avoid, I avoid them. And so, I just was like, I'm not working out, like, bottom line. However, that it hasn't stopped the pounds from adding up. It hasn't stopped, my endurance from going down. And so the reason that I'm making this video is because the lesson that I'm learning in all of this, first of all, I worked out and I did it. I just was like, all right, I'm doing it. I did it and it wasn't that bad. Like, did I think of him? Absolutely. Did I get, feelings that, I was just like, oh God, did my heart hurt at one point? It did. But I made it through that process. Like, and guess what? It's going to be easier next time. The point that I'm making is, like, sometimes we put off the inevitable. And I know that, sometimes we go through things in life and it may seem like, you can't go on, you can't move on, or you can't, continue to live, and things are just so horrible. But we cannot let our trauma define who we are. And, as much as, I miss my husband, as much as I wish that he were here, I do realize that, I have to keep going. Like, I have to keep pushing. I have to keep living. Like, the world is not going to stop. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. Like, it hurts, and sometimes I'm just like, I just want to lay in bed all day. But the errands that I had to run that day, or the meetings that I had, what's going to be the cost of me not doing what it is that I have to do, to get to the next step, to get to the next place. So I just wanted to make this video just as an encouragement. Like, I had made a predetermination that it was just going to be so hard. Like, I'm not going to be able to do this. But that wasn't the case. Like, I did it. I made it through. And I feel good. Like, I can't wait to work out tomorrow. And I feel like I know that each day is going to get easier. And so the biggest lesson in this is just to keep going, to never stop building. Me and my family, we were always building the sandcastle, building. So whatever we were doing, real estate, acting, everything that we were doing is just building the sandcastle, like this legacy that we wanted to build for our kids. Well, that's not going to stop. You know what I mean? And I tell my kids every day, never stop building. So no matter how hard life gets, no matter what the trial or the test is, like, I would be a fool to think that this is the last and biggest test that I'll have to, well, hopefully it is the biggest, but I would be a fool to think that this is the last test that I have to face in my life. I would just be a fool. Like, we're going to have hard times, like we are, but we can't let the things that we go through be the things that define us and shape us. Like, I can't go walking around with my head down because I've been through something that hurts, that was traumatic. I didn't even make this video to get emotional. But, even if this could just help one person, you can't give up. Like, and there's some days that it seems hard and I'm just like, why did this have to be my trial? Like, why couldn't it have just been something else? And sometimes we don't know the plan that God has for us. But what I do know is that I'm built for it. And I tell my kids that, I tell my friends that, any of my family that ever has had a hard time, I tell you that today, if you're looking at this video and you're having a hard time, like, you're built for it. Like, you can't give up, no matter how hard it seems. And so I just hope this encourages somebody. Like I said, I didn't get on here, certainly not to get, I didn't get on here to get emotional or even to preach. But, you know, it's really, really important, you know, that we just put our best foot forward, and that we just, you know, it's hard out here. It's hard enough. You know what I mean? But you got to believe in yourself. And sometimes, you know, the phone calls will stop. Sometimes because everybody has their life going. So when you're alone in that room, like, you have to be able to dig inside of yourself and see and speak to yourself, encourage yourself. Like, I got this. Like, I can do this. Like, I know what the consequences of not working out is. And am I willing to turn around and be in a position where now I have to seek real serious help because I let it fall so far, you know, I just fell so far off the mark that now I need actual help getting back in shape? Like, no. Like, so my thing is this: we can't stop pushing, we can't stop going, no matter how hard it is. And the final thing I'm gonna leave with y'all is, I always say this to my kids: it's not the end of the world until it's the end of the world. Be blessed.